Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 13th, Friday the 13th of October 2023. First of all, a massive thank you to all the well wishers and everything. As a lot of you know, got married last week. We had a little mini breakaway as well afterwards. The weather was fantastic. Yeah, I'm blown away. I must admit, we've had drinks sent to us, we've had some champagne sent to us, had some lovely gifts, and obviously fantastic cards from you all. So a massive thank you for myself and my wife now, after many years, but we've finally done it. So yes, but a massive thank you. So obviously we had a few days off. Obviously from Wednesday basically till Wednesday this week. We were back on Wednesday, so I haven't actually done a whole lot. As you imagine, coming back into this after having a little bit of a break, there's plenty of things to catch up on, but I did manage to get a little bit done. So first of all, we actually popped on and got a little bit more done on this little lump. So obviously this is the, get that up here, the Viking. Again, I've tinted the canopy. And this is one of those kits where it looks like I'm moaning and bitching about it and all the rest of it because it's had problems, because we had trouble with the resin all fitting in, and then obviously we had trouble, as you're going to see, about with the actual wings and things like that. And then obviously I went to tint the canopy and ended up having a little bit of silver paint left over in your airbrush. You know what it's like, that little tiny bit of silver, no matter how much clean out your airbrush, it's still there. It's not good when you do a canopy to do a fleck on it, because it has got, as you can see in here, a slight fleck in the glass work. All right, but fear not, because we've actually got a backup. So I've got another one here. This is the temporary one for this one at the moment, is on there, and then this one will go on afterwards. So we tinted the canopy. We managed to sort all that by means literally getting it all out, but there is definitely a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel now with this particular one. So it's coming along really very, very nicely. So I'm happy with this one. And again, it's one of those strange kits. Yes, it's given me a few headaches and a few problems, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're modelers. At the end of the day, it's not Lego. You're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. And I like that in a kit. Don't get me wrong. I love chucking together Tamiya kits and Bandai kits. And it's like, you know, add glue, shape box, and it's done. But when you get some little bit of, you know, like little areas, you just need to think about it and just think, do you know what? I think a little bit of plasticard shim in there, for instance. Perhaps we do a little bit of this to it, a little bit to work with, you know, sort of sanding and filling and things, those types of things. And then all of a sudden, it makes it a lot more worthwhile. And I often talk about how overlooked bad kits are, but they're not bad kits. They're just kits that make you think a little bit more and make you get out, you know, a little bit of the filler, a bit of plasticard, things like that. And to be honest, I think that's what makes the hobby great. As fantastic as it is to have these brand new kits that come along, which are all CAD designed and have no fit issues and all stuff like that, something to be said about actually putting your own personal stamp onto a model, you know. And I often speak about it on here, and I get lots of people who say, oh, my model's not good enough, or it's awful and stuff like that. No, it's not. Everybody builds them slightly different. If we all did exactly the same thing, they would all look identical, just have different paint schemes on them. So by adding little personal touches and doing things to them, it would be fine. So now we've got lots of resin on this one and that. The only worry I did have is going to be a tail sitter. I don't think we're going to have that problem, because, as I say, even with the engines on and everything else like that, this thing's got so much resin into it, it's not going to be a tail sitter, even with that huge tail on the back. So I think we'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, next part of that one is up with you right now. So you can see part 4 is up on here, and really we're just going about it. What we actually did, we've given it a coat of primer just to make sure we've done a little bit of filling work and stuff down in here. You might remember we had a really, really bad fit on the actual the weapons bay and the actual wheel wells, as well as the electronics bays and things like that. So we had to do a little bit of plasticard shimming, and as you can see, that's paid off very much down in those. And again, the wing seam, as you can see, the seam itself isn't that brilliant because it's just got like an almost a sink mark into it. But join and getting it together, that's okay. But obviously we needed to fill and do that. So to be honest, we got in there with plenty of glue, and you can probably see we're trying to get the actual that anhedral, dihedral correct on the wing system, and all the rest of it means there is a small little gap underneath for us to get all of that one in. So basically we're in with a thick old glue, getting it down, put it in there and just let it do its bit. It's going to be quite easy to sand and that because everything's recessed on here, so we're not going to do any damage, and then we can put in all the details afterwards. This is the canopy situation before we started. So we say we had one that was pre-smoked and one that's not. And then we elected to spray clearly the one that was not smoked, because to be honest it's a little bit of a better fit, and then it was going really well, and then lo and behold you can see in here we've got a little bit of sparkle, and at this point I suddenly realised that no matter how well I cleaned out this airbrush, I'd actually obviously not done it well enough. And to be honest, it's one thing I spoke about before, and I have obviously gone over this a lot. And that's the reason I have so many airbrushes, because obviously we have one down there which is like purely for doing silver work. I have one there that is just purely clear, so clear coats, you know, matte coats, glosses, things like that. And then I have my day-to-day run-of-the-mill airbrush. But obviously this is one of those things where forgot about it. I was in a little bit of a rush, to be honest, for something for the wedding that I needed to spray, and I just grabbed the first airbrush, and clearly it went out of my head. And then obviously, yeah, it's one of those things, you go away for a few days, come back, and you're like, yeah, that's gone horrendously wrong now. So anyway, we did have to take care of that and deal with that one, which we did, which was no problem at all. And as you can see down in there, it's in there. So what we had to do is actually get in there, sand that all off and go again, which we'll see in the next part of this one. The interior is absolutely awful. In fact, if it wasn't to the point where I'm pushed for time on this, I think I would have just bitten the bullet and gone down the aftermarket route or scratch build a cockpit, because it's better than these awful decals that are down in here, because they truly are awful. My only saving grace and my excuse to this is that you're not going to see them anyway, so it'll be all right. But they are really that bad. But what we did decide to do is the seats, they're awful as well. So I decided to liven them up. So we've shown a different couple of ways. So down in here, you've got Tamiya tape down in here on the starboard seat. The port one over here, we use lead wire flattened and then rolled out, and then obviously used as harnesses in there. So I've shown both ways of actually doing that one in there. And again, you can see a little bit of sparkle down in there, just like that as well, where we're thinking, yeah, this isn't going exactly well, so we need to deal with it. All right, so that is part 4. It's up there. It's full of little tips and tricks about getting around problems as well, as always on this particular kit. So you can go off and you can see that one right now. Remember, if you want any of the high-res images, you can see down in here. If you click in here, it'll take you off to the build, and then obviously got all the parts. Members, you'll just literally click onto one of these. So if this does work, we should click in here. I'll quickly log in. And then, there we go, there's the video build with all the videos in there. All right, so if you're wondering where all the videos are, just click on it, and as members, you'll be taken everywhere you need to go on that particular one. All right, so that is pretty good. Then, obviously, doing a little bit reverse order, we had the actual live show last night. That was up with us. So again, we had all the team on. Obviously, we were talking about all the various things, the bits and pieces we were up to over the last week, really, because obviously a lot of the guys came to the wedding. As you can see in this picture here, aren't we all looking very smart and very dapper? So it was nice to have the team with me for the actual big day itself. And then obviously they were back, and then back at it on Monday. So obviously that's why PM Models was closed on Thursday, Friday. And then back at it on Monday. But again, nice show this one, little things going on, answering loads of your questions and various bits and pieces. Matt was basically gluing books to diorama bases, doing his tiles. Andy was working on a very nice 109, which you can't see in that picture. Sorry, then I've obviously gone off talking about something here. Somebody asking a question. And then John, very much working on his Stuka that he had down in there. He's got a little Meteor that he's on with. And Nathan as well is really putting his usual last minute panic, shall we say, for Telford. And trying to get a kit all ready and done for that one as well. And I was working, say, a little bit on the Devastator. We were doing the clear parts and all the bits and pieces for that particular one. I took care of the wing seams and all of those. So if you want to catch up for that one, it's a nice relaxed evening last night. You can do, as always, just pop down in there. And then obviously on Wednesday, we had the actual PM show. Usual laughs and giggles as we do the show all the way through. We're talking about the James Bond Aston Martin. Obviously it's the latest kit from Revell as well for the DB5, which is very nice indeed. And we were looking generally around the site, what's new in, what's been happening, obviously some of the future releases. So that lovely P47D, which I really want to get my hands on. I can't wait to see what that one's like. And usual thing, answering all your questions as well. So if you want to catch up with everything that's going on at the PM show as well, that is with you. It's up on the site right now. Remember, just pop along to the florymodels.org page. You can see them down in here, and obviously all the ones from Floryfest, they are all down in here, and all the other parts as well. So if you want to go back and see any of our videos, just literally come along, click on one, and then you can watch it, glorious highlights, and watch it all again right the way through. All right, so if you want to catch up with any of those ones, you can do just like that. All right, so plenty to see and do on that particular one. A couple of things obviously going on this weekend, which I do have to mention. The first one is its Scale Model Challenge, obviously over in the Netherlands, the SMC. I was lucky enough to go there. We were working out 5 years ago, and I'm definitely going to go back to it next year because it's an amazing show, especially if you're into figure painting and stuff like that. It is literally on another level to anything that I've seen in the UK easily. So if you are going to the show, have a fantastic time. And we've got a little note as well from Breveco because the lovely Karine is there.
Hi guys, this weekend there is a show in the Netherlands. It's called SMC, Scale Model Challenge. We as Breveco Modeling will be there, and if you go to the show, please be welcome to come to my stand. It's number D5 near the bar. You can see the DSP, IAE stuff, and I have the Flory thick washes. I have the pigments with me. And, well, of course, I have myself. Come and say hi. If you can't come to the show, I will try and make some videos and send them to Phil and he can show you. So maybe I will see you there. Otherwise, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
So yes, she's there along with Avid as well. So if you want to get anything from the Flory Models range, you can get there. They've got some of our washes and pigments with them as well. So if you want to get any bits and pieces, they've got it there. I think they're doing show prices. So definitely well worth having a look with them as well. A fantastic show. So really looking forward. Hopefully me and the team, or at least some of the team, will be going over next year to do that show as well. Because I like to cover it as a proper video as well for us being there. So looking forward to that one next year. Couple of things have come in this week, as you can probably see behind me. First of all, at last, I know loads and loads of people have asked you about this particular kit. This is obviously the brand new tooled 1/24 scale Airfix Spitfire. To be honest with you, I couldn't get one at the beginning because they sold out so quickly and there was a limited run of them coming through the factory, as a lot of you know. So we just haven't had them. So eventually there was a little bit of surplus stock over in PM Models. So we decided to grab a couple of those ones as well. So I've got one down in here. I'm probably not going to review it because, to be honest, everyone's reviewed it now. I'm so late to the party on this one. But anyway, I have got it here. So you never know. You might see that as a video build coming up in the future. One video build you are going to see is this one. So as I said before, I have a real sweet spot and a love for this particular kit. Twofold. One is it's a Phantom. Simple. But secondly is that it's probably the reason I am sat here right now with you. Without this kit, I would not be here. So as a lot of you know, I did commission stuff down in the late 90s, early 2000s. And this particular kit was my bread and butter. I did more commissions for this particular aircraft and kit in scale and everything than any other model that I actually worked on during my commission days, all right, and that includes F-18s. So again, it's one of those kits. It's very nice and straightforward. It's a brilliant curbside model, as I call it, and again, there's a ton of aftermarket if you did want to go in with that. What I'm going to do is a little bit of a flashback. I'm going to do a kit review of it next week, so there will be a review of that up next week, and then what we've got is the turkey shoot, which will be coming up in late November. As you know, we will do that live build series from Friday through to Sunday night, and we try and complete a model. I'm going to build that in one weekend. My thing, I built one in 22 hours before. That's how good a kit that is. So what I'm going to do is take my time with it this time. We'll do it nice and slowly and go right the way through it. But again, it's without that kit I wouldn't be here. It's literally as simple as that. So it's a lovely kit, and I know obviously it's now been superseded and we've built a lot of them. Obviously we've seen Zucamori, we've seen Tamiya, we've seen Meng, you know, and everybody in between who have done Phantoms these days. But actually I still like that kit. It's very basic by today's standard, but it's still a very nice kit. The other one is this little lump, because I've been asked a lot about, obviously, Trumpeter are doing the full series. They've done the A, this is the B. We've got the C coming out as well for the new Lightning, the F-35s. So I thought, do you know what? I'll get one in and have a look, because obviously we've seen and reviewed before the Italaries one, but this one, it'll be interesting to see. And I'm just wondering what Trumpeter have done with this kit, because again, Trumpeter, for some reason, just never seem to get it right, and I'm just wondering what's wrong on this particular kit. And to be honest with you, I've already had a quick sneaky peek in there, and for some reason they've riveted it. Anyway, so from that point of view, we know it's got some issues, but we will get a review done of these two next week. So probably on Monday I'll start doing the reviews for those, and those will appear with you as the week progresses. All right, so plenty to catch up on that one. So there won't be a video part up with you on Monday because, to be honest with you, I've got a few things to catch up with and I want to get a few bits of these done and get ahead nicely. But obviously we'll be live with you Tuesday afternoon from 3 o'clock as well. That's free to watch for anybody. We'll be back with you with the PM show obviously on Wednesday, and then obviously we've got the member show which will be on Thursday night as well from 7:30 onwards, and then the next part of these ones as we push through, because again by the end of the month I want both of these out of the way because I've got another project starting and I want to push that one through a lot. All right, so last up we just got to pop over to the PM store because they've been very busy today sorting all this one out. So the new arrival section, there's a few things down in here. We've got the Scout car, said before, we've got the SU-25. Finally, we've got the twin sets. I call them twin sets is because you get the actual aircraft and the vehicle with it as well. So we've got the 190 along with the Citroen. We've got the P47 down in there as well with the actual Jeep. And we've got the Sternoff with the Gaz as well. All right, so we've got those ones are finally in. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do right now. We've also got over in the special section, it said it's been opened up. If you want a monster, this is one. You've got the Hobby Boss 32nd scale B24 Liberator. This is a D, so I do believe that's Strawberry Bitch on there probably. But again, it's normally 173 quid, and we've got it up there for 138. So if you want to get yourself a bargain. The Lightnings, to be honest, they just flew out yesterday on Wednesday when we were talking about those ones. But this is the kit that I've done as well. So again, we've got the F1, F3 version, but unfortunately the F6 version, the square tail one, that one's sold out right now. And again, we've got some real gems along here from Tamiya. So we've got the classic, this is the 109E. We've got the gorgeous Corsair, which is still a mega kit even by today's standards. We've got the Hellcat as well. Again, really nice kit. We've got the Lightning in. Again, that was much spoken about, and I must admit I do quite fancy doing that one. And some real old classics as well. So we've got the Aardvark down in here. We've got the Hawk, and obviously we've got some of these other ones all on special deals as well. So if you want to grab those, grab them right now because those prices won't stay, and obviously they'll get changed out next week. So if you see something in here and you're fancying it, grab it as soon as you possibly can. We've also had big restocks as well on AK paints, Hitaka paints, and a few other bits and pieces as well, because the Hitaka 3rd gen thinners are back in stock as well over at the PM store. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do right now. They are all set and ready to go. And that is about it for me this week. If you are off to the SMC, have a fantastic time over there in the Netherlands. Hopefully it will be better weather. I think the weather over here is going to be a bit gnarly, and I think you've got it after us, so but hopefully it won't spoil the event too much because you'll be nice and warm, you'll be under cover. It's a great show, so enjoy yourself there. Please pop along and see Breveco, go and see the lovely Corrine, say I sent you. So I don't know if you get anything, probably a slap, but you never know. Anyway, as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling, take care.
I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. In me